Y'all know how we get down. We gonna talk about fitness. I want to teach you how to get in great shape, and I'm gonna teach you how to get in great shape fast. I don't want you waiting 2 years. I don't want you waiting 3 years. I want to get you in the best shape of your life as soon as possible. No gimmicks, no BS. I like to be straightforward with how we get down. Also, as we go over everything, do me a favor, make sure you drop your questions below. For me, it's always about transparency, and everybody has different goals. So I want to make sure we actually talking about the things that can help you as the individual get you where you want to be. First thing I always like people to understand are the fundamentals. Fundamentals are very important. I always say this: if you don't understand the fundamentals, it's that much harder to get in shape. It's all about knowing how to get in shape and then going from there, how to maintain this shape if you've gotten it. So I got to show you this. It starts off with the basics. First thing we got to understand is everybody got a six pack. At the end of the day, whether you believe it or not, everybody has a six pack. The only thing that's stopping you from being able to see your six pack is your body fat percentage. So this is a great example. This right here is 5 pounds of fat. This is 5 pounds of muscle. Doesn't matter how you weigh this on the scale. 5 pounds is 5 pounds, correct? But I need you to understand, if you can't see that six pack, it's because you got a little too much of this, a little too much body fat. I want to teach you how to effectively get rid of this body fat. It's not about what's the best vegetable. It's not about how much protein am I taking. It's not. We don't got to go that far first. We need to understand and focus on the basics. Like I said before, this is 5 pounds of fat. Right here is 5 pounds of muscle. Regardless of how you weigh this on the scale, 5 pounds is 5 pounds. But once again, it's all about what you need to do next in order to get the physique that you want. Like I said, I'm going to give you a lot of information, so do me a favor and drop your questions below. It says, hello, brother. How you doing? Be blessed and highly favored. How you doing, big dog? Everything good? Happy Sunday, by the way, for those who tapping in. So first of all, I want you to understand, I'm going to use this chart right here. This is relative to what your physique will look like when it comes down to your body fat. Great example. The higher we are in this chart, less definition we going to see. Like I said, everybody on this live already has a six pack. The only thing that's stopping you from seeing the six pack is your body fat percentage. So as you can see, look at 35%. The lower we go, when we go to 25%, look at the difference. Look at the definition in the chest being built up. Look at the definition in the abdominal area being built up. We had 25. Look at the difference of 15% between 25. That's a drastic difference. And as we get lower, what's going to happen? The more and more defined we get. So I want you to understand, once again, you don't necessarily want to lose weight. Yeah, you want to lose weight for the most part. But I do need you to understand, when it comes down to weight loss, you can actually lose your muscle as well as body fat. You want to focus on trying to maintain as much as this, and you want to lose as much as this as you can. And we're going to break down everything you need to do in order to start effectively dropping this body fat percentage. Once again, I like to teach you all the basics. The basics build the foundation to get you to understand not only how to keep what you want, but be able to maintain how you want at the end of the day. It says, preach, young brother. That's all I do. Like I said, I educate people on a regular basis to get exactly what they want from their training. It says, do you want to bear? I'm in tears. But at the end of the day, check this out. When it comes down to it, remember, we got these charts. The lower you are, which this can be a little bit difficult. I want y'all to understand. This can be a little difficult at the end of the day. So do understand, you can get to a low body fat percentage. You just got to be very persistent if you want to. Also, I want you to understand, the higher we are in this red area, it puts us at a higher risk of heart attack, diabetes, high cholesterol, and so on and so forth. I want you to make sure that you're able to maximize your life and lifestyle. It's not necessarily just about having nice abs, nice chest. It's all about being healthy. So do understand, if we're here, we're at a higher risk of heart attack, diabetes, high cholesterol, and so on and so forth. So I need us to understand, the lower we get, the easier it's going to be for us to not only get what we want, but be able to maintain at that point. I want you to focus on how to properly maintain, not just hit your goal, but be able to maintain that. I need us to understand that. So these are the things that we got to go over to get there. We can go over a lot of things. So like I said, drop your questions if you have questions as we go over a lot of this stuff, because we're going to go over a lot. First thing I need you to understand is how important your training is going to be. People don't realize training is physical activity. So I want you to understand, the world is your gym at the end of the day. We need to make sure when it comes down to us consuming a lot of foods, what we need to do, we need to work these foods off. That's why you hear a lot of people talk about caloric deficits. Caloric deficit at the end of the day is just you expensing more energy than actually what you're intaking. So we need to understand it. It's something super simple we need to understand. So a great example is in the summertime, it's so easy for me to drop weight, even if I'm eating relatively the same thing, because I'm doing more cardio. I'm far more active than what I am in fall and winter. I actually cut back on some of my activity. That's why it's a lot easier for me to actually gain a little bit of weight. I'm not taking as many steps as I generally take. Spring and summer, I'm focused on minimum 15,000 steps. I can easily tackle 22,000 steps depending on how my day goes. Same thing goes for you. Same thing goes for you. Is activity is important. Another thing I love people to understand is going to the gym just makes things 100 times easier. People always ask me, do you do calisthenics? Do you lift weights? I'm a weightlifter. I spend the bulk of my time in the gym. I'm not outside at the park, 90 degrees, or if I need to do that, I can do that. Don't get me wrong. But I'm mostly in the gym. I use a lot of machines. I don't do a lot of dumbbells right now. I don't do a lot of barbells, things of that nature. I've been machining it up for the past 2-3 months. I've been doing strictly machines. I've incorporated pull-ups probably like 3 times out of this entire time. So I do want you to understand, having an effective system is going to allow you to build the physique that you want. The easiest thing to do is go to the gym, open a gym membership, and have an effective training program. An effective training system that you can use right now, mainly if you haven't been working out, is going to be push, pull, and legs. And I'm going to tell you how this is effective. When you go in, you want to start off with some type of dynamic stretching. Dynamic stretching is movement. You don't want to start off with static stretching. That's where a lot of people actually go wrong too. They think they go in the gym, they're tight, they want to hold this area. And you do that towards the end of your exercise. When you first get into it, you want to focus on dynamic movements, activities that are going to warm up your body and get it prepped for the activities that you're about to put it through. So a good example of a dynamic movement will be arm circles. Warm up the shoulders properly, something that's not extremely taxing. Another thing you can do cardio. You can do light ab workouts. I always like to start off with abs. Pick 2 to 3 ab workouts. Take me about 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how many reps and how many sets. But these are things that you can do to properly warm up to get your body activated for the exercises that you're about to take it to. Remember, exercising is going to be very important because this is going to help you expense the energy. Expense the energy from the foods that you're consuming, so that way you can be in a caloric deficit. Some people don't get too extreme about the caloric deficit and thinking that you got to be so low in your caloric deficit in order to actually build muscle or cut the body fat. I always say this: you want to make sure your caloric deficit isn't too low because we want to keep the muscle that we already have. We don't want to burn a lot of the muscle and then have to rebuild it. We want to keep as much muscle as we have. But I do always, before we get to the nutrition part though, I do always like to say, I don't like talking about caloric deficits for real, because I honestly have noticed out of all my years of training, I try to get y'all to understand, I've been training since 2010. Out of all my years of training, you can easily get more out of your training and your nutrition by staying away from the processed foods, staying away from eating out at restaurants, staying away from eating out fast food, staying away from the DoorDash. You can easily get what you want from your workouts if you slowly cut those things out and once again build a better relationship with food. But I want you to understand the training plays a huge part, because I would not look the way that I look if I just focused on my recovery and if I just focused on my nutrition. I want you to understand I was able to develop and build my physique from doing what? From exercising. It says, are you vegan or just strict on your diet? I'm actually not either. I'm not vegan or I'm not strict on my diet. I have a well-balanced diet. I don't have anything that I'm really cutting out. Once again, if you check my page, I tell you all the time, I actually do garden. That's one thing that I feel like puts me ahead of a lot of people. Another thing is I know how to shop. I'm not shopping for the same things in the same places because I understand the importance of quality. That's another reason why, once again, I started gardening. I grow my own fruits. I grow my own fruits and vegetables. Watermelon, cucumber, peppers, whether it be green, red, yellow, onions, what else? What else we growing right now? Peas, lettuce. I have 2 different variations of lettuce, raspberry bush. So for me, once again, me gardening, this allows me to understand the process of food as well as where the food is coming from. People always say food is expensive, food is expensive. Everything's expensive in 2025. Everything's expensive in 2025. And if you eating out all the time, I want you to understand a lot of that stuff is expensive. Because I want you to understand if they selling it to you for $15, do understand one thing. How much does it really cost them to actually make it if it costs them $15 to sell it to you? You're not spending but so much. And a lot of the times, a lot of these places are giving you highly processed foods. We even see it with a lot of the drinks. A lot of the drinks we have, they don't even use authentic sugar like raw cane sugar. You know what they're using? High fructose syrup because it's cheaper. They're going to try the cheapest alternative. And then on top of that, drench it and dress it up with all of this season, all of this butter and everything to make it taste better. And to make it taste better, and then once again, another thing you got to be careful with is with the processed foods because they're loaded with chemicals. It got you coming back wanting more and more and more and more. But I do want you to understand, I do balance. It's all about balance for me. It's all about balance for me. I understand you need vegetables. I understand that you need fruits. I understand that you need your protein. So for me, have a balance of everything. It's not, oh, I'm strict on this, I'm strict on that, I'm strict on this. But do understand when it comes down to supplementation, I don't do any type of supplementation, and I haven't done it for years at this point. I don't take any pre-workouts. I don't take any creatine. I don't take any of that. No protein shakes, none of that. I don't take anything when it comes down to supplements at this current point. I want y'all to understand. I've taken supplements before. I used to work at GNC. I don't drink coffee, none of that. So I do want you to understand, you don't have to go as extreme as I'm going, but I do want you to understand, once again, a lot of the basics. In the fitness industry, a lot of people don't realize we're being sold on a regular basis. They're telling you to take this, take this, take this because they need to get paid. A lot of these people are not getting paid. Why you think your favorite influencer is always pushing some type of drink, some type of supplement? Because they're trying to get paid. You get where I'm going? You get where I'm going? They're not telling you the route that I'm telling you. I'm trying to get you to understand that we need to focus on dropping the body fat. We need to change the quality of foods that we consume. Because I want you to understand, if you driving your Benz is your body when I refer to a Benz. If you driving your Ferrari is your body when I'm referring to. We're not putting regular gas in it. So when it comes down to fueling your vehicle, why are we putting regular gas in it? And I'm telling you right now, I've been there, I've done it. I'm not saying that you have to completely eliminate the things that the things that are unhealthy that you may enjoy, like pizza, or it can be Popeyes, it can be Chick-fil-A, whatever your vice is at the end of the day. I'm not saying that you got to completely eliminate it out of your body, but for those who are eating this on a regular basis, I want you to understand you're setting yourself up for failure. And this is another reason why it seems like you have what's called stubborn belly fat, but the only person that's really being stubborn is you, because you refuse to actually change the way you want to eat. You make a drastic difference if you change the way that you eat. Even when I went through my last car accidents within these past 2 years, I had 2 car accidents back to back, which really kind of took me out of fitness. I was thinking like, man, I'm gonna get far out of shape. And I'm gonna tell you, I was very shocked that I didn't get out of shape as much as I thought I would. My bounce back was easy. Don't get me wrong. I may not be lifting as much as I was lifting before. I'm kind of close to it, but I'm still somewhat far in certain movements. But I want you to understand, if you tighten up on your nutrition, it makes everything that much easier. But I don't want you to just focus on thinking that if I clean up on my nutrition, then I'll look good. you still got to put the work in when it comes down to the gym. You got to put the work in. I wasn't able to build my type of physique if I wasn't hitting those weights. I'm just telling you right now. I wouldn't be able to build my type of physique if I wasn't going to the gym at least 4 to 5 times a week. It's a big difference. And I've been training for quite some time. So I want you to understand, you're not just going to lift weights and in 2-3 months, you just automatically going to look like me. You have to be consistent though. You can get more of what you want as long as you stay consistent. Consistency is key, but you still have to have some type of game plan. I want y'all to understand, for one, I'm a trainer that's been doing this for a while. And 2, I want you to understand, I have 3 children now. All of my children are under 5. So if I'm able to do it, you can do it too. Another thing I love to tell people at the end of the day, for those who miss this, is you can get whatever you want as long as you put the time, the energy, and the effort towards it. I was able to build my type of physique, and I'm going to be real with you. I never even thought I would be this great in shape. It just so happened that the more I improved on certain things, the more I wanted. I'm like, damn, when I first started working out, I was barely able to lift the barbell. I want you to understand, the barbell is 45 pounds. I was barely able to do 10 reps. Barely, struggling when I first started my fitness journey. And I didn't start lifting weights until 2008. So I just want to be clear from that. I just want to be clear. The longest hiatus I've taken away from weights has literally been from the recent car accidents. One I had in December of 2023, and the second one I had in 2024 of July. So I want you all to understand, and those are the only injuries I've accumulated over the years when it comes down to injuries. My injuries have never been from working out. I may have like small minor tweaks where I twisted my ankle because I was lifting heavy, and then I tried to quickly transition back into basketball, and my body wasn't used to moving the way I was moving because now I'm lifting crazy weight, but I haven't moved the way I move in basketball for probably like 4 or 5 months. So those little things I do try to get you all to understand. You got to prep the body for what you're doing. But I do want you to understand, don't get fooled. It ain't genetics. You can get it too. I want you to understand you can get it too at the end of the day. A lot of people love to say, oh, it's genetics. I can't build that body because it's no. I want you to understand. If you worked as hard as I have, you look as good as I do, if not better. You got to put in the work though. If you're not putting in the work, what you expect? I always tell people this when they're like, well, how many days should I work out? Remember, while you here, come on, let's drop some questions. We got a lot of people on this live right now. I'm all about transparency. I know I'm giving some game, but I want to make sure I'm talking to the right people. Do me a favor and drop questions if you have questions about anything. Like I said, I'm a certified personal trainer. I'm not here. I'm not an influencer. This is my full-time job. This is what keeps my lights on. This is what pays my bills at the end of the day. So if anytime you wanted to ask me questions, now is the perfect time. I'm always about transparency when I jump on live. I love when I get the engagement from my people and they want to ask me certain things. If I do this, well, how do you feel about this? Because I'm gonna give you the truth. I'm gonna keep it straight up. Like I said, I don't do any craziness. I don't do anything. No supplements, no nothing. All I do is focus on sourcing for quality goods, because knowing how to shop is going to be a big thing. Knowing how to shop is going to be a big thing. Is it better for isometric exercises first? So when you first start off, I always say, don't worry about complicating it. Start off by working out. Start off by working out. When we start working on isometric exercises in general, I want us to understand, for me, that's more for advanced. If you someone who's just starting out, why are we not focused on machines? Machines aren't just for beginners, by the way, because I've been using machines for quite some time. I do feel like it takes a lot of the workout of some of the exercises, like example, if you're doing machine chest press in comparison to cable chest press, it's harder to go heavier with cable chest press because you're fighting for more stability to do the cable work. Your body got to be nice and solid. You can't break form and technique. And once again, it's a lot harder to load your body with more weight when you're doing something like a cable machine. Another reason why I love machines. So I do want y'all to understand, there's no this is better than this or that is better than that. It's relative to what you're trying to get from the exercise. So a good example, if you're doing something isometric and you notice that your right arm is stronger than your left arm. For me personally, I'm still going to start off with machines, but at some point I am going to transition to dumbbells so that if my left arm is significantly weaker, it's going to be able to catch up. Crazy thing, crazy story for me, backstory. At one point, my right hand was significantly stronger than my left hand, and now my left hand is a little bit stronger than my right hand at the end of the day. But you want to mix and match both. Don't overcomplicate it. Mix and match both at the end of the day. It says, what's more important when trying to gain weight, eating or working out? I would say both. Both of them are important because they work hand in hand. Do understand if you're not working out, you're going to gain weight a lot faster because of the inactivity. But you want to understand that if you want to try to keep as much as your six-pack as possible, you want to incorporate some type of working out. Do understand, depending on what you're eating is going to dictate how fast you actually you're going to put on weight at the end of the day. So we need to be aware of that too. I need you to understand both are important. It's not one thing is more important than the other. One of my biggest philosophies that'll get you to understand, it's going to get you wherever you want to be, is you need to tighten up on all three of these areas in general. You need to be on top of your training, you need to be on top of your nutrition, and you need to be on top of your recovery. They all work hand in hand. I know people that eat extremely well, have great recovery, and they don't really train like that. Do you think their bodies look amazing? You got to understand, when you train, it's breaking down the body and it's going to help your body look good at the end of the day. So do understand, you want to mix and match both. You want to mix and match both. You want to make sure you're on top of both. It says, I love your genetics. It's not just about genetics, big dog. Like I said, I guarantee you this. I wish I can do this. I really wish I can do this. I wish I can give someone as much time and energy and passion that I put into my workouts. I wish at the end of the day, those people could actually implement everything I've implemented. And I guarantee you, when it come down to looking at your physique, man, oh man, oh man, man, oh man, oh man, I'm trying to tell you, you can get exactly what you want at the end of the day. You can get exactly what you want at the end of the day. So I do, remember, keep dropping your questions, by the way. Keep dropping your questions. Keep dropping your questions. But I want you to understand, you can get more of what you want. You just got to put in the work. I put in the work. And I want y'all to understand, I've been training for years. I didn't just start working out. I haven't been casually working out. I've been very consistent with my workouts all of the years, for over the years. For example, a lot of the content that I've been dropping isn't even new stuff. This is stuff that I've been doing over the years. And I'm talking about over the past 4 years. If you notice, some content I got a bush on, some content I got a low cut. If you can tell what's new by the glasses. If you don't see me wearing these glasses, it ain't new. It's old. I'm going to be real with y'all. So I want you to understand, and this is another reason why when I jump on live, I like to show my physique, because as a certified personal trainer, you are your first client at the end of the day. A lot of people don't want to talk about this, but you are your first client at the end of the day. People love to talk about genetics, but I guarantee you, if you put in the work, and you put as much work as I put in over the years, you will be in great shape. Ain't no way around that. A lot of people want y'all to feel as though you can't achieve what they already have. Don't get me wrong. There may be small differences in our physiques based upon how our bodies are set up. But at the end of the day, everybody has a six-pack to start off. And you can get in great shape if you have the proper discipline and know what to do when it comes down to your body. Because there's no one size fits all when it comes down to this too. A lot of people don't understand it. There's no one size fits all to this. It says, do you use gymnastic rings in your workouts? You can see exactly what I do if you just look at my content. You can see, and I give you a lot of game in my content if you tap it in. You can see exactly what I do if you just tap into my content. I'm giving you the cheat code. I'm giving you the cheat code if you pay attention. I lift weights. I already told you exactly what I do. I lift weights. I lift weights. I lift weights. I can't stress that enough. I lift weights on a regular basis. It says, what is the best way to build a chest? Best way to build a chest at home. And I also have dumbbells. I'm going to tell you the best way to build a chest is start off. I'm not even going to say at home. At home, I'm going to be real with you. I do feel like there's a lot of limitations. There's a lot of limitations when it comes down to training at home. Mainly if you don't have access to like dumbbells. You don't have access to a cable machine. You don't have access to barbells. You kind of limit yourself. You kind of limit yourself. And I tell people this. I'm going to say this to the end of time. Just open a gym membership. It makes things that much easier for you. You think a gym is buying a machine for $6,000-7,000 if it don't work? I want y'all to understand. Do you think a gym is paying $6,000 to $7,000 for a piece of equipment if it doesn't work? Each and every piece of equipment works. When it comes down to working at home, I'm not somebody that works at home. I tell people this all the time. I don't work out at home. I don't. Only time I worked out at home is when the world shut down. You know what I'm talking about when I say that. When the world shut down, that's the only time I found myself buying dumbbells and buying kettlebells and buying this. And I'm going to tell you, since the world shut down and opened right back up, I ain't been using none of this stuff. This stuff ain't been collecting dust. The only time I utilize this stuff is if I'm training a client outside. That's the only time. To make things that much easier, I'm telling y'all right now, don't focus on working out at home. Get a gym membership. It's that much easier. Mainly if you're paying over $64. You got the best of the best. And you're not going to be bombarded by random people. So I do want y'all to understand, one of the easiest ways to get a nice physique is from training at a gym. You're only limited to so much when you use things like resistance bands. You're limited to so much when your dumbbells don't go over a certain weight. You're limited to so much when you want to do 1,000 push-ups. I don't do 1,000 push-ups. I cap out at 30 push-ups. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. After 30 push-ups, I don't care for doing push-ups no more. It's just more wear and tear on your joints, ligaments, and tendons. We don't need to do all of that. I've noticed that if you throw more resistance on the body in a small amount of time, it just makes it makes your life that much easier. If you notice that when you go to the gym and you do a machine that you're doing, you lifting it, it's only 100 pounds. I want you to understand one thing. When you throw 135 pounds, the body's going to act different. Once you increase the weight to 165 pounds, guess what? The body's going to respond different. Mainly if it's a situation where you slow stepped your way to this weight the right way. You know what I'm saying? It says shit. So do understand, you can get more of what you want. More of what you want. It's all about consistency. We talked about it earlier. One system that you can use is called push, pull, and legs. Push is when you work chest, shoulders, and triceps. Pull is when you work back and biceps. And when we train legs, we have quads, hamstrings, glutes, and calves. Your average gym has all of that equipment unless you just at the wrong gym. Because there are gyms I'm not gonna fake. It's just not where it's at. It says not everybody can afford a gym. A gym workout at home is perfectly fine. If you can't afford it, that's on you. Like I said, I'm giving you advice at the end of the day to get what you want. If you want to build the best body, it's not, and then I'm gonna be real with you. It's not that everybody can't afford it. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. It's not that everybody can't afford it. It's do they want to spend the money on investing into it? That's a big difference. I didn't say you have to buy a gym membership that's $64. If you go to Planet Fitness is $10. I see so many people spend money on so many things that are frivolous, but then when it comes down to making an investment on something that can actually change their life and benefit their life, they make excuses like, not everybody can afford that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. You can afford the things you want to invest into. That's how it works. I see so many people buy things they can't afford, and they cool boasting about it. The Gucci belts and the Dior and all this other stuff. See, so many people spend money on that. So many people spend more and more money on clothes to hide their physique instead of just changing their physique and spending a little bit of money on making the investment into their physique. So when it comes down to the paper, I'm sorry, I don't want to hear it. When it comes down to not having money, I don't want to hear it. If you ordering DoorDash and Uber Eats, I don't want to hear it. If you eating out at least 5 days a week, I don't want to hear it. You got the money. Are you going to spend the money though into investing into changing your life? And I tell people this, the biggest thing at the end of the day that I've noticed a lot, at the end of the day is people invest into the things that they want to. People invest into the things that they want to. I don't want to hear nothing about can't nobody afford a gym membership. It's gym memberships out there that are cheap as hell. You can go to the Y and tell them you don't make no money and they'll make up a gym membership for you because people already have money spent and invested for you to get a free membership. You just got to know to know. I'm just letting you know. You got to know to know. You got to know to know. If you go to the YMCA and you tell them you can't afford no membership, guess what? Somebody already paid for your membership on a monthly basis. I'm just letting you know. You just got to know there's no excuses when it comes down to getting in shape. There's no excuses. If you want to use the excuses, I ain't the guy for you at the end of the day. But once again, if you want to build a nice physique, The easiest way to build a nice physique is open a gym membership. Make the time. Do something you can lock in. Bring your headphones. Y'all got money for all these expensive headphones, but they ain't got money for a membership. We got money for a membership. We got to make it make sense, y'all. We got money for headphones. We got money for $1,000 cell phones. We got money for these expensive cars, but we ain't got money for memberships. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. You make time and you invest your money into things you see value in. I see so many people go broke trying to keep up with a lifestyle that they shouldn't keep up with. And you know why they doing it? Because they don't want to show nobody they body. They don't want to show nobody their physique. They buying $200 shirts, $80 shirts just to keep covering the stomach up. One of the easiest things you can do is open a membership. Open a gym membership. Planet Fitness is $10 a month. I don't want to hear it. It's no excuses when it comes down to it. It says, what supplements are worth spending money on? I don't talk about supplements at the end of the day. I told you I don't take any supplements. I can't recommend something that I'm not invested into right now. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't take supplements. I don't take pre-workouts. I don't take BCAAs. I don't drink coffee. None of that. That's another example. I see people on a regular basis talking about they ain't got no money, but they gonna spend $7 on a coffee. Let's make it make sense, y'all. Let's make it make sense. If you going out and you getting a drink at the bar and you spending $10 to $18 on a drink, not a bottle, let's make it make sense. And on top of that, alcohol ain't even for you. Alcohol don't benefit your body. It's not for your body at the end of the day. It's not for your body at the end of the day. So I'm just giving you facts, man. Everybody can invest into a gym membership. I even gave you game if you're paying attention. If you can't afford a gym membership and you have a YMCA around you, go to them and talk to somebody with about a membership and let them know you ain't got the paper. Let them know you ain't got no money. They gonna figure it out for you. So I don't want to hear it. And then on top of that, the world is your gym. There's so many things you can do to get active. I'm just saying one of the easiest ways to build a nice physique is open a gym membership. All of the work is already done for you. They got a machine for chest, shoulders, back, legs. Everything's for you. I think my thing that's so frustrating about fitness is I feel like everybody complicate things by showing me they don't want to do it. Once you start moving the goalposts, I don't have this or this don't make sense, it shows me how bad you don't want it. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. Before I even opened my gym membership, I'm not going to lie to you. I was working out at home. I brought one of those total gyms. I will admit, at my parents' house, I was lucky enough to already have access to like a bench and a couple other things, dumbbells that was 25 pounds. I started off there, but it only got me but so far. I was able to build my physique from working out at a gym. I'm just telling you that right now. One of the easiest ways to get in great shape is work out at a gym. They have everything for you. Dumbbells that are wide range, so when you get stronger, you ain't got to buy another dumbbell. Your membership already paid for that. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, memberships start off at $10. I've seen memberships as high as $300. And I'm telling you right now, if you want to get to some money, open you a membership for $300. You'll see that the world is a lot different than a $300 membership. Mainly if you know how to network. Mainly if you're an entrepreneur. I'm giving you free game if you're really paying attention. I'm giving you a lot of free game if you're not paying attention. And at some point, if right now your life crashing and your finances in shambles, do what you gotta do. Knock out some burpees until you get your money up. That's how it's gonna work. Not everybody in this world is broke. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Where I live at, everybody drives Teslas, Range Rovers. What else I see on a regular basis? I gotta look over here to see Range Rovers, Mercedes. So when they talk about memberships, and these people got the money and they still got a tummy. So it just shows me it's not a priority. It's not a priority. Getting in shape is not a priority for people. But once again, I'm here to give you no gimmicks. You gotta want it at the end of the day in order to get it. You gotta want it at the end of the day in order to get it. If you really want to get in great shape, you gotta want it. This is not something you like the idea of. You're gonna have to put the work in. And the thing that's stressful about it is the body adapts to everything that you put it through. Once you start working out more, you got to know how to switch it up and able to keep going so you can overcome that plateau. Plateaus at the end of the day, I like to get people to understand, are not a bad thing. Plateau is just showing that your body is acclimated to what you're doing. You just have to change up a few things. You might got to change up the tempo. You might got to change up the weight. You might got to change up the range of motion. You might got to change up the reps. You might got to change up the sets. Whatever you got to change up, those little things, it could be that one thing that you change up and you can shock the body again. But do understand the body is memorizing everything that you put it through. But I want you to understand there's no excuses when it comes down to getting in great shape. If you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't. I get people to understand that all the time. If you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't. That's how it's going to be. There's no, oh, the membership is too high. You know how many people I see waste money on a regular basis on shit that they don't need? Let's keep it real. Come on, let's keep it real. If you ordering DoorDash, you should not be telling me that something's expensive, because I tell people this all the time. Eating healthy is not expensive. Eating healthy is not expensive. It's not. It's not. And there's other alternatives that you can take in order to make sure you eat healthy. A great example of what I'm referring to is you can do what I do. You can grow your own food. If you don't want to do that, that's on you. You got to know how to shop. You got to know where to go. And I'm not talking about everything is healthy at something like Whole Foods. No, you got to know how to shop. There's certain things at farmers markets that are far more cheaper than what you're going to get at your local grocery store. You got to know how to shop. If you don't know how to shop, you don't know what you're getting at the end of the day. Remember, while we're here, drop your questions if you got questions. But I do want you to understand, once again, in order to see the six-pack, everybody got a six-pack. Everybody got a six-pack at the end of the day. In order to see your six-pack, you got to focus on dropping that body fat percentage. We don't accept excuses over here. We don't accept excuses over here. Do you want it or do you not? If you don't, it is what it is. Keep doing what you're doing. But do understand, the longer we are over here, guess what? We're increasing the chances of heart attack, diabetes, high cholesterol, and so on and so forth. Do understand that. The longer we're over here, the more we're at risk of heart attack, diabetes, high cholesterol. And I try to get y'all to understand, if you really listen to what I'm telling y'all and you listen to the game that I'm putting down, you can look like me if you put in the work. You got to want it, though. I wanted it. I was 90 pounds for a minute. I was 90 pounds for a minute. I was tired of looking how I was. I'm too small, dog. I'm too small, man. I'm too small. I'm over it. I'm like, dang, man, 90 pounds. I'm around grown men at 6'1", 250. I got to get my weight up. I got to figure this out. And you know what I did? I took the initiative to figure it out. I ain't know what I was talking about. I did my research. I brought books. If y'all would see how many books I've purchased over the years just to learn from all these other people to make sure that I'm implementing things the right way. It says, how do you measure your body fat percentage regularly? You can buy a scale. I always say spend at least $100 on a scale. Spend at least $100 on a scale. It's going to tell you your weight as well as your body fat percentage. But you're going to keep it simple with that. You ain't got to do nothing crazy, or just go to your primary care. Like, go get checked up. Males, I need y'all to do me a favor. Go get checked up by your doctor at least once or twice a year. Twice a year is preventative. If you do it twice, you're moving in the right direction. Because I tell people this all the time. You can look healthy on the outside, but are you healthy on the inside? You can look healthy on the outside, but are you healthy on the inside at the end of the day? This is something that's important. But remember, just buy a scale. Scale makes it that much easier. It's in the house. One of the best times to weigh yourself is in the morning. Don't overcomplicate it. You're going to know your weight fluctuates throughout the day because of what you drink, what you consume, and things of that nature. But don't overcomplicate it. You don't need a special chart. You can Google the chart that I just showed you. Just Google body fat percentage. That's all you got to do. If you want the chart, just Google body fat percentage. I'm not showing you anything that you can't just already Google. That's it. Just Google body fat percentage. It's going to show you your body fat percentages. And once again, or you can just screenshot it right here. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you could have screenshotted it. But do understand at the end of the day, the reason why you can't see your stomach, the reason why you can't see your abs, because once again, everybody got abs. Everybody got abs. Is because your body fat percentage is too high. The lower we get your body fat percentage, look at the definition difference. Look at the difference in definition from 35% to 20%. Chest starting to poke out. Abs starting to show up. You get what I'm saying? Once we go to 20%, 20 to 12%, look at the difference. Look at the difference. Don't overcomplicate this. And when it comes down to dropping the body fat percentage, you know what you need to do? You need to be doing cardio and you need to be doing resistance training. People ask me, what do you do to bulk? What do you do to cuts? If you're not no bodybuilder, we shouldn't be worried about bulking and cutting. If you're not a bodybuilder, you shouldn't be worried about bulking and cutting. And I tell people this all about bodybuilders. If you're not trying to get in the show, why are you even training like a bodybuilder? Bodybuilders use sports enhancements, some of them, not all of them. But at the end of the day, why are we worried about what somebody else doing? We need to do the things that we can be consistent with. I had one of my clients like, D, you know, I've been working out 3 times a week. I want to train 5 times a week. If you working out 3 times a week and 3 times a week is something that you can be consistent with, stay consistent with that. Work a little bit harder within those 3 days, and I guarantee you're going to make a priority to do 4 or 5 days a week. The only time you're not going to do 4 or 5 days a week is if a point you don't see value in it. I see value in training 5 days a week. So you know what's going to happen? I'm going to work out 5 days a week. You feel me? It says, what's your favorite ab workout? I don't really have a favorite ab workout because for a long time I had abs and I didn't even train abs. I'm going to be honest with y'all. For a long time I had abs and I never trained abs because abs are already engaged through all the exercises that you have. Bench pressing, squats, deadlifts. You know what I'm saying? I never was a person that did a lot of ab workouts. I'm going to be honest with y'all. If you really look at my ab activity, like I said, if you go to my profile and check out my videos, check out what I do, I show you everything that I do. I don't do anything magical. I'm not doing this exercise where I'm climbing up the wall and I got to flip my arm this way. I'm not doing none of that. I'm going to the gym. I told you, I've been using machines for the past 2-3 months. This is from machines and working out over the years. I've been working out since 2008 was when I first started lifting weights. I didn't stop until the 2 car accidents I recently had in 2023 and 2024. So I want you to understand, this is from consistency. When I got my car accidents, I was scared like, hey man, I'm going to get out of shape. Like I need to work out. And then when I seen my physique, I'm like, damn, like I didn't realize I was in that great of a shape. Because the last person that's really going to see you in shape is you. The last person that's really going to see you in shape is you. It says, you think the best to do both same day or alternate? What you mean by do the, you talking about do strength training and resistance training the same day? If it's a point that you want to do resistance training and resistance training and cardio the same day, what I like to do if I do both at the same day, I do 5 to 10 minutes of cardiovascular activity, start my workout off. Then I go into my resistance training and I might finish off with 5 to 10 minutes. One thing I do not recommend doing is knocking out 30, 40 minutes of cardio and trying to hit the weights. You're going to be weak as hell. You're going to be, all of your energy is expensed to your cardio. I personally do like to separate it though. So if it's a point that I do separate it, I might do it 2 days. So meaning I might do cardio earlier in the morning, cardio by itself, and then later that evening I might lift weights. And it's still the same thing. I might warm up 5 to 10 minutes with something cardiovascular, and then going from there, I go into my weights, and then I'm gonna finish off with 5 or 10 minutes with something cardiovascular. So that's how I separate it. That's how I separate it. I don't overcomplicate it. I'm not doing, I'm not in the gym for 5 hours. I'm not doing all of that. The only thing that I might do cardio that take a little bit longer is I might play pickleball before I lift weights. That's the max I'll do. That's the max I'll do. But when it comes down to doing a bunch of ab workouts, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never been a big fan of doing ab workouts, and I've had abs all my life from not doing a bunch of crunches and sit-ups. Like I said, if you want to see your abs, all you need to do is focus on dropping the body fat percentage. It's not about doing a bunch of ab workouts. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. It's not about doing 8 variation of ab workouts a week and all this. No, it's about having a low body fat percentage. If your body fat percentage is low, your abs gonna pop out, whether you train the abs or not. I'm not saying don't train abs, because one thing that made me train abs, the 2 to 3 exercises that I start off with, is I had one of my trainers, right? My trainer was like, man, I've been training with you for a while. One thing I've noticed is you don't do abs. And I told him, like, I'm not really an abs fan. I'm gonna be real with you. I've had abs all my life, so it's kind of like, if I want them a little bit more defined, then I might do a little bit more. But I never really had to do ab workouts because, once again, when I'm doing lifts, the first thing I'm doing is tightening my core. Before I bench press, the first thing I'm doing is tightening my core. When I'm about to do rowing machine, the first thing I'm doing is tightening my core. When I breathe out, I contract abs a little bit more. So I've been doing abs throughout the exercise without doing a bunch of crunches and planks and standing. I never did a lot of that. But I say that to say this. I saw a significant difference. I trained with my trainer For 3 weeks, he forced me to do abs. He forced me to do abs before every workout for at least 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm going to be real with you. When it came down to lifting more weight, I was able to crank 30 pounds easy from just training core a little bit more. So I do want you to understand, abs has been something I always skipped, but abs is important. I just want you to understand, just because you do more ab work doesn't mean that you're not going to see that stomach. So just be mindful of that. Just be mindful of that. So I don't, like I said, I don't have a favorite ab exercise. Abs, if you want to see your abs, and I told you this starting off, the only reason why you can't see your abs is because of this. You got too much body fat. You got too much body fat. This is getting in the way. This is 5 pounds of body fat. This is 5 pounds of muscle. So if we lose a lot of this and we keep this, them abs gonna be popping out. Them abs gonna be popping out. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So I want y'all to understand, you don't gotta do a lot of ab training at the end of the day. You ain't gotta do a lot of ab training at the end of the day. You feel me? So it's all about being consistent. It's about making sure you effectively train the entire body. You want to make sure you don't have any imbalances. It says, what if you already got low body fat percentage and still don't have abs? You don't have a low body fat percentage if you can't see your abs. I'm gonna be clear again. I've been showing you the chart the whole time. You cannot have a low body fat percentage and not see your abs. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You need to check your body fat percentage. What's your body fat percentage? I'll wait. Do you know what it is? What's your body fat percentage? Because do understand, if you're talking about somebody that's skinny fat, you can be skinny and still have a high body fat percentage. You can be skinny. And then tummy look like that. That means you skinny with a high body fat percentage. So do understand at the end of the day, what is skinny fat? Now that's skinny fat. You skinny as hell with a high body fat percentage. That's what skinny fat is. You see somebody arms, they bony, they not fat. You don't feel a lot of muscle. You squeeze them, they soft. You can be skinny fat. That's the thing. But do understand at the end of the day, if you have a low body fat percentage, there's no way around it. You're going to see the abs. You're going to see it. If you right here in that 15%, you might see a little cut. But once we start getting to 12%, once we get to 8%, you're going to see the six-pack. Everybody has a six-pack once again. The only thing that's stopping you from seeing your six-pack is your body fat percentage. Do not let that go over your head. I'm going to show you once again. This is science. I ain't making this up. This ain't no opinion. This is facts. 5 pounds of fat. You can look this up on Google too. 5 pounds of fat, 5 pounds of muscle. If we have more of this, what are we going to see? Less of this. If we have more of this, what are we going to see? Less of this. Once again, this chart going to get you to understand, the higher your body fat percentage, the less definition we're going to see. As we go lower in the chart, what's going to happen? We're going to see more and more definition. It's no way around that. Like I said, getting abs, whether you want to believe me or not, like I said, I'm a certified trainer. I ain't no damn influencer. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not making this up. I'm not just telling you how I feel or what I think. These are facts. There's no way around it. I guarantee you, I'm still waiting for you to answer. What's your body fat percentage? I'm still waiting for you to answer, by the way. What's your body fat percentage? That's going to tell you everything. What's your body fat percentage? Once again, I have family members that are skinny fat, so I know what it looked like. Exactly, 25%. Once we get to 25%, let's keep it a buck. 25%. Don't get me wrong, you're in a healthy range. You're in a healthy area. But if we 25%, that's not low body fat percentage. Low body fat percentage is when we in this blue. This take work. Blue take discipline. So if you want to get the aesthetics on the blue, we got some work to put in. That's something that don't come easy. It's at 5% is crazy. You speaking facts. 5% is tough to manage. I'm even tired of hearing you can build a six-pack or be more ripped with low reps. Come on, man. Come on. I mean, not low reps, but low weight, high reps. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Y'all really believe in this madness? Y'all really believe in this madness? It says really trying to get to 15 to 10% body fat, to be honest. Okay, and that's not a problem. That's not a problem. And I'm going to tell you how to get there. I'm going to break it down how for you to get there, right? First thing you need to do, y'all need to be taking notes if you hear me out. First thing you need to do is you need to be realistic about what you're consuming. The easiest way to be realistic, because some people need to see it in order to believe it, use an app like MyFitnessPal. Log in everything you've been consuming for the past 3 days. If you want to go the furthest extent, do a week. Log in everything you consume. That's going to break down everything for you for the most part. That's a start. Going from there, when it comes down to your food, the first thing you need to do is start flipping everything around and reading the ingredients first. What's in it? The more that's in it, the more your body got to work it off. I'm going to give you a great example. When we make peanut butter, right? Peanut butter is just peanuts. We put this in a Vitamix, by the way. Vitamix, we should talk Vitamix. If you're listening, we should talk. But put peanuts in a Vitamix, right? And mix it up. Do you know how long peanut butter lasts? Peanut butter lasts 7 days. 7 days. That's it, 7 days. When you go to your local grocery store, I've seen peanut butter that lasts into 2027. It's 2020. That's 2 years. It goes to show you how many chemicals is in this. So I want you to understand, the chemicals at the end of the day is benefiting the company because it's increasing the shelf life. That's the benefit. They don't want to make peanut butter for 7 days. Nobody buys it, and they got to throw it in the trash. That's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy for some people. So do understand, the companies understand that, so they have to add extra into it to increase the shelf life. But I want you to understand, when it comes down to your body, the biggest issue with this is going to be what? Your body got to process this. So I want you to understand, if we're not processing it the right way, we're not going to really get what we want. We're not going to get what we want. This is another reason why I keep telling you, read the ingredients. It's very important to read the ingredients. If it's only 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients, you move it in the right direction. You moving in the right direction. Like I said, what I may be saying is something that you may not be acclimated to. What I'm saying is something you might not be acclimated to at the end of the day. So do understand, if you listen to what I'm saying and you implement it, you'll actually start to see a lot of the things. You'll actually start to see what I'm talking about. You don't realize some of the things that you're going back to is because the ingredients make it taste better. The ingredients make it last longer. And the ingredients got you wanting each and every day. Each and every day. It says, what do you have advice for a vegan diet? I'm not a vegan, so I can't give you suggestions. I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegan. It doesn't work for me. I tried it. It doesn't work for me. I don't want to eat tofu all day. It doesn't work for me. So I don't actually have any suggestions. What I always say is, work with somebody that is a vegan. I'm not a vegan. I've never been a vegan. I've tried it for a little bit. The max I was pescatarian. And for me, I'm going to be real with you, it did not work for me. I was tired all the time. I was exhausted all the time. I don't know if I worked out too much. I don't know if it was a point. I even tried protein shake around that time when I was vegan. It just didn't work out for me. It didn't work out for me. So I personally don't have any advice. I'm always about whole foods. I'm not talking about Whole Foods, the grocery store. I'm talking about whole foods. I garden, by the way. So just to get you to understand where I'm coming from, I garden. I grow my own food at the end of the day. I'm not relying on what the grocery store is giving me. I went the extra mile. I grow my own food. I take the time. I plant it. You know what I'm saying? I put the right soil down. I make sure I water it. So I do want you all to understand, I'm a little extra when it comes down to it. I may be a little foreign to what you used to hearing. You used to hearing somebody say, oh, take this supplement. Take this protein shake. It's going to help you build muscle. I build muscle from eating right and going to the gym. I understand the different cups of the cow. Me consuming things, I always paid attention to how my body responded and reacted to it. Did this make me gassy? Did this make me bloated? If I notice gassy and bloated, then guess what? I'm gonna take it out my program. That's my body showing it ain't for me. You get where I'm going? So I'm gonna be honest with you. Once again, I'm not a bodybuilder. I do whole base foods. So I eat beef, I eat chicken, you know what I mean? I'm going to be real with you. I'll be 50-50 on chicken, though. I prefer fish over chicken, so I will admit that. Even though I do consume chicken, I would prefer fish over chicken. I prefer steak over chicken as well. But understanding little things like the different cuts of the cow. It's going to be a big difference on nutrition factors when it comes down to filet mignon and porterhouse steak or even ribeye steak. You got to understand when it comes down to some of these steaks, when it, depending on the cut of the cow, some is going to be a little bit fattier. That's why you're going to get more flavor when it comes down to those fattier steaks. You're going to get that leanness when it comes down. I love lamb chops, by the way. So just giving you a example of I'm a balance. I don't just eat this. I don't do any extreme fast or anything like that. I'm not doing no watermelon fast for 30 days or I'm not eating for I'm not doing none of that. I've never done that. I've been in great shape without doing that. I used to eat crazy, and then I will admit I saw the side effects that came from eating crazy. I was like, you know what? This ain't for me no more. I used to be the trainer. Oh, you can eat whatever you want, still look good. And then I'm going to tell you one thing. When it hit me, it hit me. And when I said, I don't want no parts no more. I don't want no parts. For me, I'm not saying that you still can't enjoy things that are bad for you. I get pizza once a week. Am I eating pizza every day? No. You get what I'm saying? It's a point that I like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is one of my favorite fast food spots. Am I eating Chick-fil-A every day? No. No. Did I eat Chick-fil-A every day at one point? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But at this point, no. No. I'm not eating that every day. Once in a blue moon. Because I see how my body tolerates it. My body don't tolerate it. And I always say this. When you take something out your system for a long time, see how your system responds to it. And I'm going to tell you one thing. It ain't going to respond as well as you think. It's not going to respond as well as you think. It says, do you eat at a caloric deficit? I don't even pay any of that any mind, I'm going to be honest with you. So I'm not going to say I'm in a caloric deficit. I'm not going to say I'm in a surplus. The only way I know I'm in a surplus is when I cut back on my activity. And I can easily see my body starting to put on a little bit more muscle. I'm fairly active all the time, so I don't pay attention to any of that. I'm going to be honest. I don't weigh my foods. I don't scale my foods. I don't do any of that. I've never done that, to be quite honest with you. The only thing I've always done was read the ingredients and pay attention to the serving size. Because I've noticed that when you read the nutrition facts, it's based upon the serving size. And sometimes you may not realize, like, for example, you might get a bag of chips and a bag of chips say blah, 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 blah. And when you look at the top, it says 4 chips for every 1 serving size. So you got to let that factor in. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. 16 grams of sugar, 14 grams of carbohydrates. I'm just throwing numbers out there, by the way, because I don't eat chips. I want you to understand. When you look at the serving size is another way to be able to look at portion control. I've never been a person at the end of the day, even when I did go to fast food, I'm not getting the large fry. I'm not getting a large drink. If I'm getting anything, I'm getting a sandwich. If I get a large fry, I'm busting it down between 2 to 3 people. You get where I'm going? If I get a drink, I'm sharing a drink with somebody. You get where I'm going? I'm not getting a drink. Or for me, if I notice I already had sugar at some other point, I'm like, just give me the bottle of water. So I want you to understand, I've always been about portion control, and I'm not going to say I've been in a caloric deficit. I eat and I work out. I eat 2 to 3 times a day. At the end of the day, that's something that's structured even when I gain weight. You get where I'm going? I eat the same things I eat when I'm cutting weight and when I gain a little bit of weight. The only thing changes for me is only going to be my activity, my output. Am I walking 15 to 22,000 steps a day? That's going to be the difference. If I'm not walking 15, 22,000 steps a day and I'm keeping it within 10, it's going to be easier for me to gain a little bit of weight. That's when I'm going to be in a caloric surplus. I don't weigh out anything. I don't even cook my own food, to be honest with y'all. I grow my food, but I don't cook it. So I just want to be clear on that. When it comes down to it, for those who want to get their foods cooked and things like that, or say they don't have time, make time. Make time. And if you ain't got the budget, you better make the time. Because I'm tired of hearing people when I tell them, oh, I got a private chef. They like, you got a private chef. You got money. No. I ain't got money yet. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to get crazy. I ain't got money yet, but it's coming. But do understand, these things aren't expensive as you think. I just looked at it and said, you know what? If I put this in somebody else's hands, the time that I'm utilizing on making this, I can spend that time making some money. I just looked at it like that. If you look at it like that, it makes things that much easier. But if you ain't got the budget, you need to be busting down. Because I did that before. When I ain't had a budget, you know what I was doing? I was going to the grocery store at a specific time. I had everything set up to a point because I didn't have a lot of time around that time and I hated cooking. I made everything quick and simple. Quick and simple. When I made my breakfast, I was prepping for me to cook at lunch. I cooked my lunch. Then I'm like, okay, how much I got left? Do I need to go to the grocery store now or do I got to go later? And then on top of that, when I cooked my meals, I made additional meals so I had options for later. So if I cook for lunch, I made something for me to eat for lunch. But you better understand one thing. I already had something for lunch tomorrow and for dinner tomorrow. You get where I'm going? You got to make the time, though. You got to make it a priority. And eating healthy is not expensive. I keep getting y'all to understand that. If right now you eating out 2 to 3 times a week, you got the budget to eat healthy. I'm going to be real with you. You're just being lazy. You're not making it a priority. You don't see the benefit. You don't. We got to keep it real. At some point, you got to own up to what you're doing wrong. At some point, you got to own up. Because at one point, what I'm referring to, I had roommates at this time. And for me, I didn't like how my roommates wasn't cleanly for real, for real. So I was like, damn, I don't really want to cook around them because they dirty as hell to me. So for me, I was like, you know what? It came down to a point, I'm like, I can't just keep eating out. This ain't going to work. It's too expensive. I'm not going to just keep eating out. And the sad part is you buying expensive trash. That's the sad part. Like I said, I've been there, done that. I used to be the trainer to say you can eat whatever you want and still look good. You can eat whatever you want and still look good. Am I saying that now? Hell nah. It's going to catch up to you at some point. You might look good now, but it's going to catch up to you at some point. So cut it out. Just cut it out. Tighten up on your eating. And what people don't realize is it's getting trickier and trickier because the wording is changing. The wording is changing. Y'all don't realize the wording is changing. They see that we're getting smarter and smarter, and they put little things like all natural on the front. Where you think it's natural, but when you flip it around, you start to realize, well, what is this? If you flip a package around and the ingredients have things that you can't pronounce, you know what that says? You know what that says? You shouldn't be eating that. Because what is it doing? It's increasing the shelf life at the end of the day. This is how do I get my chest to the bar doing pull-ups? I can do 8. I just start off. So with pull-ups, one thing I always say is take your body through phases and transitions. So if you're only doing 8, one thing I always say is, why don't you just focus on something like assisted machine pull-ups? I get laughed at for assisted machine pull-ups all the time. Every time they see me, man, you too fit to be doing that. You can do pull-ups. I can do weighted pull-ups too. Can you do weighted pull-ups? You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can do that. But if you actually take the time and focus on better form, better technique, and remember with the pins, you can adjust the pins to get that sweet spot to help you develop more strength in those areas. You might need to get the forearm stronger. You just might need to get the back overall stronger. You might need to get the biceps stronger. Whatever you need to get stronger, the assisted machine is going to allow you to do that, because assisted machine pull-ups is mimicking a pull-up at the end of the day. Or another thing you can do is isometric holds at the top and slowly come down. That's going to be a game changer. So with those 8 that you're doing, explode up, mainly when you start getting tired. That's one thing I've been doing for years to help me get strong fast. Is when I get exhausted, I put more speed into the rep. I put more speed into the rep. Everybody, don't do speed reps. Nah, if you want to get strong, trust me when I say this, the body is going to adapt to what you put it through. So when you do that explosive rep and then you do an isometric hold, it's going to allow you to get a little bit stronger at the end of the day. So those are 2 things that I recommend. Assisted pull-up machine is 1. Assisted pull-up machine is 1. And then 2, it's going to be isometric holds and count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as you lower down. Like do a second count. It says, what's the best push-up? Whatever push-up you can do is the best. I don't believe in the best push-up or the best, etc. I didn't build my physique from just doing a bunch of body weight exercises. I crank weight. Look at my profile. You can see what I do. I can dip 3 plates, 345 plates. I can pull up 245 plates. I want you to understand. I'm not a person that just do a bunch of pull-ups. I don't got time. I get bored after doing 30 reps. I really get bored after 15, to be real with you. For me, instead of doing 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 reps, I would rather just increase more weight. If I'm noticing that I can do 30 reps with 45-pound dumbbells, I'm telling you right now, I'd rather go up to 75 pounds and be able to knock out 10. If I notice that I can knock out 20 reps with 15-pound, 75-pound dumbbells, I'm telling you right now, I'm moving to those hundos. And if I can only do them for 10, then 10 what it's going to be. You get where I'm going? So I want you all to understand that you can get more of what you want. It's all about putting your body through phases. Everything I do is a phase. Month 1, I'm doing this to be able to do this. Month 2, I'm doing this to be able to do this. Month 3, I'm doing this to be able to do this. Keep dropping your questions, by the way. I love the questions. Everybody's dropping questions. I'm loving the questions, by the way. Like I said, it's all about transparency when I jump on live. But I'm a trainer that I'm going to tell you this. If I don't do it, I'm not going to recommend it. I don't do it. I can't tell you the benefits. I haven't taken supplements in so long because somebody asked me about supplements. I haven't taken supplements in so long, I can't tell you what's the best supplements. I don't take them. I don't. What I did was I started trying to source for the foods to have the things that I need. If I'm low on iron, what gives me iron? If I'm low on zinc, what gives me zinc? If I'm low on magnesium, what gives me magnesium? And I'm trying to incorporate these things in my routine on a regular basis, more so than just taking a supplement. That's just me. That's just me. When I worked at GNC, I saw things that rubbed me the wrong way. So me personally, I'm just like, I don't want no parts of that. I don't want no parts of that. Am I saying supplements aren't beneficial? That's not what I'm saying. I just can't give you benefits on something that I don't take. I've always been that type of trainer. If I don't do it, I can't tell you about it. I can make a call for somebody who do it, and then they can tell you. I can refer you somebody that does it, and then kind of go from there. So do understand that. Do understand it makes a big difference. Big difference. Big difference at the end of the day. I don't just shoot shit, and if I don't dabble in it, I can't tell you nothing about it. That's another reason why, like I said, when I jump on live, my approach is different. How many of y'all have already would have been sold a supplement? You need to take this pre-workout because you need energy. I'm going to tell you, take your ass to sleep. If you need energy, take your ass to sleep. And another thing you should do is change the quality of your foods. 9 out of 10, you tired because you're consuming foods that ain't even nourishing your body. Your body don't know what to do with it. You ain't really feeding the body. And that's another reason why some people don't get great results. I'm not the person that's going to tell you to get the chicken from the freezer. I'm not a big fan of anything frozen. For the most part, the only time I recommend anything frozen in the frozen aisle is if you buy something and you notice you want it. Like say you buy strawberries. I'm going to be a good example. You buy strawberries. You love strawberries. But every time you buy strawberries, you noticing you wasting your money because they spoil before it's time for you to eat them. What we going to do? Why don't you just get frozen strawberries? Don't overthink it. Something like that. That's the only time I'm gonna recommend something frozen. It's the only time I'm gonna recommend something frozen. And I'm gonna tell you all the time, read the ingredients. Far more important than anything. If you're not reading those ingredients, you don't know what you're getting. Also, look at the mission statements when it comes down to your grocery stores. You need to find out where they're buying this stuff from. That's another reason why I shop at local farmers markets. I get items from local farmers market because I can talk with the farmer. I know where it's coming from. Is this coming from Delaware? Is this coming from PA? Is this coming from my area? So I do that all the time. I'm not just trying to, oh, I'm hungry, let me just get this. That's the worst thing you can do. A lot of people are out of shape because of that, by the way. They wait until they're hungry and then they're searching for something and they just get anything of what they're around. It's been plenty of times I was in an area where it's considered a food desert, meaning they don't have high quality foods whatsoever. I'm in a food desert and I'm kind of like, you know what, where is such and such? And I'm noticing like, dang, it's no healthy food over here. You see the same generic stuff that's extremely unhealthy, and I don't need to name the names. A lot of the shopping centers sell the same stuff. A lot of the shopping centers sell the same stuff. Another reason why I keep telling you time and time again, do me a favor and understand how to source for your foods. Another thing when we talk about chest, for those who want to build a chest, as I seen a chest question. You developing your chest is not necessarily just the exercise. Yes, the exercise is going to help you develop the chest, but we got to go back to what we talked about earlier. If you don't have a low body fat percentage any damn way, you ain't going to see no chest. If you don't have a low body fat percentage anyway, I don't care what chest exercises you picking, what chest you going to see if you are 25%. How defined is your chest really going to be? The only reason why you keep saying you like my chest, you want to know chest tips, it's because I'm down here. I'm down here. I'm down here. It's not just about the chest exercises. The same generic chest exercises, machine chest press, machine incline chest press, decline machine, and then we got the variations of cable, dumbbell, and bench. That's all you got to do. Just pick a variation and go with it. If you know you don't have good form of technique, focus on machines. Machines are going to help you build better form of technique. Once you build better form of technique, if you want to shock the body, use something like a dumbbell now. If you can handle that. If you can't handle the dumbbell, I say stick with the barbell for real to start off. Do understand it's harder to load resistance when you're using cable. Because cable, you got to fight for a lot of stability work at the end of the day. So that way, so when you fight for more stability with an exercise, 9 out of 10, it's a little bit harder to actually target the area that you're trying to see results in. So do understand, those little things make a big difference. It's not about doing 1,000 push-ups every day. All right, you keep doing 1,000 push-ups and you tell me how your rotator cuff feels. I'll wait. We see it with the calisthenic people all the time. They wearing KT tape and all that. When you start wearing KT tape, you just telling me you don't care. That's not training. That's fitness. That's one thing I want y'all to understand. I'm not here to teach just training alone. I'm here to teach you health. I want you to get healthier. I want you to focus on understanding what you're putting in your body. It's not just about the workouts. The workouts, don't get me wrong, are going to be important. But it's not about what's the best. There's no such thing as the best. The best is relative to what you can do. What can you perform with good form and good technique? That's what the best is going to be. The best is not about, oh, is it diamonds? Is it incline? Is it my feet elevated? None of that is the best. Because somebody may be able to do regular push-ups, but when they elevate their feet, they can't do the push-ups at all. Somebody may want to do pull-ups, but they can't do pull-ups right now. So you got to start out with this assisted pull-up machine, or you got to use resistance bands. The best is always relative to what you can do. There's no such thing as the best exercise. I'm going to be real with y'all. There's no such thing as the best exercise. It's relative to what you can do. A great example, squats is one of my favorite exercises, and I would say is one of the best exercises you can do, but not everybody can squat with good form and technique. So if you got to start off with box squats, that's the best exercise you can do. Because that way you can make sure you properly load the areas that you're trying to train instead of you losing form and technique while you're doing it. Now the resistance is being thrown 50 different places because you aren't able to effectively target the body. Do understand the best is relative to what you can do and stay consistent with. That's going to be very important. Very important. It says, could you just eat what you want, like a moderate good and bad, and work out and still? I wouldn't recommend that. I would moderate bad is still, you still playing yourself. Moderate bad, you still playing yourself. You can enjoy yourself in small spurts. I'm going to give you game if you really want to get in shape. A system you can use, and I generally charge people for this type of system. I generally charge people to give them this system. For every 7 meals you consume, meals, not snacks, none of that BS, meals to nourish the body, you can eat whatever you want for the 7th meal. You heard what I just said? For every 7 meals you consume, I mean, not you can eat whatever you want for the 7th, but for the 8th. For the 8th meal, you can eat whatever you want, right? What you'll notice is you can't beat those numbers. Like I said, I'm not sitting here and saying you got a garden and you only got to eat you only got to eat what you grow and you only got to eat premium this and premium that. That's not what I'm saying. You can still consume the things that you want to consume, but you got to look at food like debt. If you $1,000 in debt, right? And you make $1,000, I want you to understand you at zero. Why are you going to spend the same $1,000 to be at zero? Now you're $1,000 in debt again. That's what a lot of people do when they out of shape. That's what a lot of people do when they out of shape. They're $1,000 in debt. They make $1,000. First of all, they take forever to make the $1,000. They take forever to make the $1,000 because they not sticking to the game plan. They want to find a shortcut. There's no shortcuts to this. If you're $1,000 in debt and you pay off the $1,000, you're at zero now. I want you to understand that. Why don't you just wait until you actually make another $1,000 or another $2,000 before you even spend anywhere close to $1,000? You got to look at fitness like that. You got to look at fitness like that. You can't be $1,000 in a hole, spend $1,000. Now, once again, you at 1,000 negative again. And what some of y'all do is you spend more than $1,000 from there because you have no self-control. It's not just, oh, I want to eat bad this one time. Sometimes your hormones take over because you're not used to eating quality foods. I'm telling you right now, once I start cold pressed juicing, changed my life. A lot of the stuff that I was consuming on a regular basis, once I start cold pressed juicing, I ain't even got the appetite for it because my body is acclimated to premium. It was times I was buying Chick-fil-A, because I used to buy Chick-fil-A damn near four or 5 times a week. If you know, you know, I was a signature member. Just imagine how much money I was spending. I was becoming a signature member by March. I want to show you how much money I was throwing at Chick-fil-A to get you to understand. It's going to catch up to you at some point. Don't do it. It's going to catch up to you at some point. I used to be the trainer to say, you can eat whatever you want. And then once I had my health scare with the 6-pack, with the ripped arms, with the nice chest, I was like, yo, we got some changing to do, dog. I can't feel like this no more. It's going to catch up to you at some point. Why waste your time? Why waste your energy where you can consume something quality and perform a lot better mentally and physically? It says, what kind of stretches do you do and how regularly? Stretching, like I said, do dynamic stretching before you work out. You do static stretching at the end of your workouts. I use massage guns, foam rollers. I do everything. You got to deload the body. You got to deload the body of the tension that you put it through. You have to deload the body of the tension that you put it through. That's the best way to develop and be able to perform at a higher level. But you do need to understand when it's time to give your body a rest. If you're experiencing body aching and things to that nature, that's a sign you might be eating a little too much or you're not doing enough recovery work. Always remember, sleeping is a part of recovery too. Nutrition is a part of recovery as well. We talk about this all the time. There's so many different things that go into the spectrum of recovery. So me personally, I can't sit here and fake. I stretch damn near every day. You know what I'm saying? It may vary what I have access to and what I'm around. That's going to dictate what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? I like to stretch in the sauna, but I haven't been in the sauna all year so far. I need to tighten up on my hydration. I ain't even gonna fake. I need to tighten up on my water intake. That's gonna help me out a lot. Once I get my water intake and everything together, I'll be good. I do feel like I have been hydrated because I've been doing things like coconut water. I've been doing things like watermelon on a regular basis, but I still need to drink more water. I'm noticing I have not been drinking as much water as I should. So for me, I've been avoiding the sauna. You can stretch in the sauna too. One of my favorite saunas is the infrared sauna. Infrared sauna is going to warm your body from the inside out. Do your research. Like I said, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Like I said, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. But I stretch pretty much every day. That's something I do. I'm not stretching for like hours on hours on hours, but at least once a day for the most part. Nothing too crazy. I will admit I do need to get better with static stretching though. I do a lot of massage gun in the meantime because it's quick. It's quick fix, and I've been dropping a lot of videos for y'all lately. I don't know if you've been noticing, I've been giving you a lot of content. If you tapping in and you taking advantage of the information I'm giving, all I need you to do is tap into my actual content. Read the captions, watch the videos. I'm giving you a lot of game for free. Mainly because your boy trying to get monetized. I'm trying to get monetized like crazy. And like I said, for me, my biggest thing is I'm not gatekeeping. I'm giving you free information. I'm showing you how to grow your own food. That's one thing I'm doing. I'm showing you how to work out, and I'm being very meticulous on showing you different techniques that you can use, whether it be for bench press, whether it be for rowing, whatever the case may be. Because once again, if you stay consistent, you can build my type of physique. Don't be fooled. Don't let nobody think you need a supplement. You need to take this 7 days a week and you need to spend $700 on all of this other stuff in order to get in great shape. I'm giving you the tools right now. If you really listening to what I'm saying, I'm giving you the tools right now. Matter of fact, if you taking notes, do me a favor, and you learning something from this live, type a 7 in the comments for your boy. Type a 7 in the comments for your boy. If you really learning from a lot of this free game that I'm giving right now, just do me a favor, type a 7 in the comments. I appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about. We got 1 7 so far. Hopefully, we got more. We got 2 7s. That's what I'm talking about. I see y'all. So I just want to make sure it ain't going one ear out the other. That's my thing. We see another 7. That's what I'm talking about. I just want to make sure we're not going one ear out the other, because once again, I know what I'm saying may be unusual for those who have been following a lot of fitness content. I'm not telling you, once again, to purchase no supplements. I'm telling you, take the time to grow your own food. I'm taking your time to. I'm telling you to take your time to understand how to grocery shop. Once again, if you do want a program, I got programs that give you all of this information. All you got to do is tap in with my Patreon. If you tap in with my Patreon, Coach Kemp Jr., it shows you all of my programs. I have programs as cheap as $10. I have programs as expensive as $1,400 a month. So do understand, you working with somebody to know what they're doing. My Patreon, I just started, by the way. So I don't have any members just yet. But if you want to become a member, do understand I'm going to hold your hand in the process. It says, how old are you? I'm 34 years old. 34 years of age, and I got 3 children. It's no way in the world I should be out working if you ain't got no kids. I got 3 children under 5. My oldest will be 5 at the end of this month. My second oldest just turned 3, literally a few days ago. My son just turned 1, less than a month ago. So I want you to understand, I got my hands busy. I'm busy all the time, and I'm still making time to get in shape. Don't get me wrong, this is my full-time job, and this is what pay my bills, so I'm always at a gym, but I still have to have a system to make it make sense. I'm not working out for 7-8 hours a day. I'm just being I just got to keep it real with you. I'm not working out for 7-8 hours a day. I'm not new to this. I've been working out since a child. I didn't start lifting weights until 2008, though. So I've been working out all my life. I've always played soccer and baseball. I've been playing soccer and baseball, whether you want to believe it or not, since 2.5. And I was going back to back. My upbringing, my mom is a nurse. My dad is military, just to get you to understand where I'm coming from. So this is why I say time and time again, I'm giving you the tools to get in shape. But if you don't want to get in shape, it is what it is. Who cares? It is what it is. If you don't want to get in shape, it is what it is. I'm giving you the tools. Free 99 right now. Mainly if you tap it in right now. Mainly if you tap in. I'm giving you the game for free because I want you all not to get confused from all this misinformation. There's a lot of misinformation out here. A lot of people showing you their way of doing it, and you don't have to go that extreme. And I want you to understand, just because someone else did it a certain way, don't mean it's going to work for you. Also, there's a lot of phonies out here. There's a lot of people that's telling you, I'm natural. I do this. And they doing a lot of other stuff in the shadows. I'm not that guy. I'm 34 years of age. I never used any type of performance enhancements. I honestly never even imagined I would be this great in shape. This was never a plan. This was from consistency. This is from me learning more. I look at it like sharpening my tool. I was sharpening it to get it better and better each time. And you can do the same thing. I'm tired of hearing the genetics. Every person I've seen and spoke to that talked about genetics, I'm like, dog, you ain't never been under 20% body fat percentage. You don't know what your limitations are. And then on top of that, they might work out, but then when it comes down to doing the other stuff, like tightening up on their nutrition, maximizing their recovery, they so-so. My family will tell you, when it's time for me to sleep, I'm out. I'm gone. You have to catch me the next day. When it comes down to my food, I don't play when it comes down to the quality of my food. I'm not buying no BS. Don't get me wrong. I still might indulge in some of the junk from time to time. Don't get me wrong. But I've taken extra precautions, like growing my own food. It's not how many certified trainers you know grow their own food and look like me. I want you to really think about that. The average person that look like me bodybuild. I don't bodybuild at all. I'm not no bodybuilder. You don't see me flexing or posing or none of that. I don't even know how to pose. You get where I'm going? So once again, that's another reason why when someone asks me about cutting or bulking, I cut it out. I don't do none of that. The only thing that may seem as though I might be cutting or bulking is because I train different in spring and summer in comparison to winter and fall. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I eat what I want. I'm bigger than you and more cut than you. That's what's up. Clap it up for your mans. He wanted some attention. Clap it up. That's what's up, big dog. And I don't care. That's the thing. I want y'all to understand I'm not in competition with no one else. I don't want to be bigger. I don't care, bro. Have fun. Do what you do. It's your life. Live it. And I'm telling you right now, I'm living mine. And we living good. We living good. I never care. That's one thing I want y'all to understand. If you want to get in great shape, don't care what nobody else is doing. I never gave a shit about what somebody was doing. I don't care what their arms look like. I don't care what their back look like. I've always did me. I've always did me. And I did it to the max. You get where I'm going? I don't care what anybody else is doing. It says, what are your fitness goals? I already don't have any fitness goals. I'm going to be honest with you. My fitness goal is to stay healthy and do this for as long as I can. I don't have any fitness. I've been in shape for so long. Like, I want y'all to really understand. I've been in shape for so long. Nothing appeases me. Nothing. I don't really have any fitness goals. I stay in great shape for my family. I have 2 girls and a son. I'm telling you right now. If I need to catch you, I'm going to catch you. If I need to throw you out, I'm going to throw you out. If I got to choke you up, I'm going to choke you up. So I'm training more so for life. That's it. I don't train to have the biggest chest, to have the ripped arms, to have the best triceps, to have the biggest quads. That's not my lane. I'm not here for that. I'm training to protect my family. That's what I train for. So all the other stuff, it don't really matter to me. I might set like little things where I'm trying to do a mile on a bike in 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I might want to make, if I'm playing basketball, I want to make 100 jump shots straight, running around. You get what I'm saying? I do little goals like that. Or if I'm noticing I'm not as strong as I used to be, I'm like, you know what? Right now, I'm working back to 3 plates of pull-ups, 345 plates on pull-ups. So I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really have goals that really keep me going. My family is my goals. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. My family is my goals. I'm not geeked to have the rip this 6-pack and all this stuff. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder to show my physique with Speedos on. I'm not doing none of that. To be real with you, my biggest fitness goal, if I really want to keep it a buck with you, I want to get 10,000 people in shape. The best shape of their life. At least 10,000 people. If you want to know what my real fitness goal is to get more people in shape. That's what my real fitness goal is. Minimum of 10,000 people. And the way I can do this is by sharing information like this. Sharing information like this. You get what I'm saying? Outside of that, I can care less about anything else. I'm not here to compare and contrast to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be the strongest guy in the room. None of that. None of that matters to me. None of that matters to me. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be real with y'all. The only people that I feel like really care about me is my family. Like, think about this. I'm on live and I give positive information and we get people trolling. It goes to show you how people don't care. It's somebody always trying to throw you off your own frequency. I'm not here for none of that. I'm here to share information and get other people in shape with no gimmicks, no BS. You can do it too. You can get in great shape. You don't need no supplements. You need to learn how to eat. That's one thing I always try to get people to understand. You got to learn how to eat. If you don't know how to eat, we already moving in the wrong direction. You got to learn how to eat. You got to learn how to train. You got to know how to recover. These things are going to make a significant difference. These things are going to make a significant difference at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, I say this all the time. Do it for you. If you're not doing it for you, who are you doing it for? The worst thing to do is to do it for anybody else. But my family, for sure, is my biggest fitness motivation. But I do want people to understand, I do want people to understand my biggest goal for real, as far as fitness goal, is to get other people to look like me. I know what it takes to look like me. I know what it takes. I know what you got to do. I just got to find the people that are really motivated and passionate about getting it done. Every time I find people that want to do it, they half-ass it. You know what I'm saying? They half-ass it at the end of the day. The half-ass it at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? But with that said, man, I want to tell you thank you for everybody that's tapped in. I'm going to catch you on the next live, man. Make sure you take advantage of all of the content that I give you. You got videos you can take advantage of. Got a lot of videos you can take advantage of. I show you what I do on a regular basis. I show you what I do on a regular basis. Now, thank you for tapping in, and I love your questions, by the way. Make sure you turn on that notification bell because I do go live random if you want to tap into the next live. But with that said, thanks again for everybody that tapped in. And please make sure all this information I gave you doesn't go one ear out the other. Take advantage of the information, man. You can utilize all the information I gave you, and I gave you a lot of information for the free 99. For those who do want to enroll into a program, remember, tap in with my Patreon. I just started my Patreon. Coach Kemp, JR, all together. It's my username. Tap in with me. I get you right. And I always tell people this. If you think the information I gave you just now is powerful, just imagine if you actually pay for something. You get what I'm saying? Let's get it. Y'all have a blessed one.